Good morning. Happy Pancake Tuesday. Hope you're having a lovely day, whatever you're up to. I thought I would jump on this morning and do a quick live. I'm going to try and be a little bit more active in this group and in the other groups that I manage. I'm not going to promise a particular day of the week, but I will try my best to jump in and do a live more frequently than I have been, or at least some new content each week if I can. However, I wanted just to chat to you about remembering that the true inner purpose of Reiki is to know who you really are, to find your true self. And I know that we have a handful of new members. Welcome to all the new members in this group. So we have people of all levels in this group. We have people from brand new beginners who have just started out on their Reiki journey, right through to Reiki master teachers who have been on the path for some time. And it doesn't matter where you are on this path. This message is still the same, and it's still the same for all of us, that Reiki is more than just a system of healing. In fact, the whole purpose of Reiki is to remember who you really are, to uncover your true self. It's a system of understanding who you really are and to remember your divine inner source and your divine inner light and energy. So it's much more than just hands-on healing. It's also much more than going to a class, getting your certificate and thinking, right, that's it now. I've done that, tick the box, let's move on. It's a practice, it's a disciplined practice of self-healing and uncovering and unpeeling the layers of the onion and trying to understand who you are, okay? It's about stoking the fire within yourself. Because when you stoke that fire within yourself, that energy system, you go right down, practicing the meditation techniques down into the belly, into the hara, into the tendon, using Joshin Kokyo-ho, using Hatsure-ho, using the meditation practices, the mantras, the symbols, all the things that you learn on your path, you start to burn away the ignorance and the fear and the worry and the anger and the misconception that's all around us, okay? You let go of judgments, you let go of attachments, you let go of the need to be right. And you just simply exist in a state of peace and calm, which is what we could all do with, I'm sure, at the moment. And it's about constant right practice. And I don't mean consistent, I mean constant. And you're probably thinking, well, I can't be doing Reiki on myself all day, every day. And no, nobody's asking you for that. We're not saying 24/7 you must be sitting in a meditative state. That's not feasible or realistic. But what you can do is, instead of doing your 10 minutes practice and then forgetting about it, you can carry it with you through the day in your right mind. So you take your practice inward. You take your practice in, you meditate on the precepts, you meditate on the symbols if you're level 2 or above, you meditate on the mantras for the symbols, you practice your Joshin Kokyo-ho, you practice your Hatsure-ho practices, you practice your hands-on self-healing. And you do that at the time that you've allocated through the day. You think about the principles. But you don't just forget about it then once you've done it. You just don't go, right, that's my Reiki practice done, right, on to the next thing. You carry it with you. Carry it with you in your mind, being mindful. Remember, Usui said, just for today. So be mindful. Be mindful of everything that you're learning with your Reiki practice. Carry it into your day. You need to put it into practice in your life rather than it just be this academic or theoretical thing that you're doing. It becomes a daily practice, and it then starts to infiltrate everything that you do, so that gradually you do let go of the anger, you do let go of the worry, you become more grateful, you practice more diligently, and work hard on yourself, and you become more compassionate and kind to yourself and others naturally as part of your practice. It's not just precepts stuck on a wall that you look at or that you mindlessly recite. Okay, if you think about it like, let's imagine it like a pot of water that you're trying to bring to the boil. You're trying to stoke this fire within yourself. Well, if you're trying to bring a pot of water to the boil over a flame, and that flame's not very strong and it keeps flickering out because it's only lit for 10 minutes a day, it's never going to boil the pot of water. It's never going to boil that pot of water. But if that flame is consistent, even if it's a small flame, but it's consistent and constant and is always on, then gradually it will heat the water and bring it to a boil. So try and remember that in your practice throughout the day. I know we're all busy, lives get busy, although sometimes we do tell ourselves the story that we're busy and that we can't find the time for things when actually we can. There's always time for the things that are important to you. So it's about remembering your true self, emanating that love and compassion and that peaceful right mind state out into the world, because that then will change the world, and change the world around you, and it will change how you feel about yourself, and your vibration will shift, and that will ripple out into the world around you. So it's often said, if you want to change the world, then start by changing yourself. The root of all our issues is in our mind. Okay, so we may not be able to chant all day and meditate all day and practice Usui all day and do hands-on healing every day, but we can work to maintain our mindfulness, and we can work to maintain our right mind every day, and that is where your Reiki practice will then come into its own and start to have the desired effects in your life to make things better for you. So these were just a few thoughts on it. Let me know in the comments what your Reiki practice is like. Do you have a daily practice? If you don't, then is it time maybe you thought about bringing it in? Do you bring it across to try and cultivate this right mind, to try and cultivate this sense of calm and inner peace? So let me know. Pop in the comments what your thoughts are about putting Reiki into practice, and it not just being precepts stuck to a wall that you look at and concepts that you've learned about in a class that you then forget about until you're going for your next class. Okay? It's about bringing it into your practice. We're all really good in our first 21 days after we do our class. We're like, right, okay, in our 21-day practice, and then it tails off. And it's natural, it's human, that's what we do. We kind of drift onto the path and off the path, onto the path, off the path. What I would say to you is, though, remember the little pot of water. Is your flame constantly flickering on and off? Or is your flame staying lit? Are you cultivating a right mind? Are you cultivating mindfulness, where you're becoming more mindful of your inner light and drawing your practice within to strengthen your inner fire so that you can burn away all the rubbish that doesn't need to be there, and then ripple that beautiful healing light out into the world, which is really what Usui intended Reiki to be all about. So just some thoughts. Let me know yours in the comments, and I'll chat to you again really soon.